Hello there! Today we're going to talk about the Swiss knife of simple Excel functions. And this is the function SUBTOTAL. How many times did you prepare the report and during the analysis you wanted to utilize different functions instead of creating a separate data section for each of them? Well, SUBTOTAL function can help you to solve it. And on top of that, it can give a few additional benefits. Let's see how it works.
Let's imagine we have a table which has some parameters and one column with the values. Let's try to apply the formula SUBTOTAL. We type SUBTOTAL and then we open the options. The first parameter defines the operation which will be applied to the data which we will choose on the next step. And as you can see, there are multiple parameters: average, count, count A, min, max, sum, and whatever. Let's start with the simple parameter sum. We need to put 9 as parameter, and then we need to select the whole elements here. So now it works as a simple sum. Definitely you can easily change the parameter to, let's say, 4, which I think is max, and you'll get the maximum value. As you can see, you have multiple possibilities by using only one formula. Also, if we open the formula and we go back to the list of parameters, you can see that the first 11 parameters are duplicated second time with a different index, which starts with 100.
So, SUBTOTAL formula can give you an optionality to use different functions. But what is the difference between these two types of indexes, starting with 0 and starting with 1? Let's check it out.
Here we have exactly the same table, and let's try to apply 3 operations to it. One of them is simple sum, then SUBTOTAL with a simple index, and SUBTOTAL with index starting with 100. Here we will work with formula sum as a base. All the conclusions will be applicable to any other formula you may want to choose. So in the first cell we select the formula sum. In the second one, as we agreed, SUBTOTAL with parameter 9 for sum, and in the third one let's choose parameter 109. As you see, when we apply it to the normal table and we don't perform any modifications with it, the results are exactly the same. First of all, let's see what will happen if we try to apply some filters. Let's imagine we select only the melon and the orange. The sum formula didn't change because it always shows the result of the argument selected. And formula SUBTOTAL shows you the results only for filtered parameters. The difference between these two options is visible when you manually hide the columns using the grouping tool or the hide options.
If you find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know about the things you would like to hear about in the comments below.
Let's take our filter out, and now let's group the columns. As you can see in this example, SUBTOTAL function with a simple parameter gives you exactly the same result as the sum function. However, the SUBTOTAL with the parameter starting with 100 shows you the result only for visible cells. That's why SUBTOTAL function is very handy when you perform data analysis and you want to see the results only for selected areas of your data table.
Well, now it's clear that in some cases SUBTOTAL function can be more helpful than the usual functions. But this is not all. With SUBTOTAL function we can make our reports much more flexible and dynamic.
Let's show it on a simple example. For the beginning, let's put some SUBTOTAL basic formula and let's choose parameter 9, for example. It will give us the sum of the elements in the table. Let's imagine we want to provide our user with the possibility to use the formulas average, sum, and let's say max. Average would be 1, max would be 4, and sum would be 9. And now let's utilize the input data from the user as a parameter for our SUBTOTAL function. Let's imagine we have parameter 1. Let's here create some hint so that the person understands which function he is using now. So now the person will be able to choose the parameter and we'll see which function he or she is using. And now let's correct our formula. Instead of the first parameter, let's choose this value. Now the person can simply switch between different functions. It is possible to see the average, or the maximum value, or the sum of all the elements. Definitely you can extend the list of functions and add the drop-down list here, but I think you got the idea. You will have much more flexibility in your reports if you use SUBTOTAL function.
I hope you will find the right place for SUBTOTAL function in the portfolio of the tools you use in Excel. Thank you and see you in the next one.